For this week, we were focusing on quality of life improvements, refining weapons, and refining the movement of the JellyMen character. For the movement, we noticed that the JellyMen isn't dynamic enough, because currently the animation was playing, and the player was moving in space, but he wasn't really bobbing. We had a proper animation going on, but kind of because of how the system was set up, the JellyMen limbs are copying the animation limbs. But when it came to the hips, it wasn't copying that because it conflicted with the physics system. I set up a new system where now it actually applies the ragdoll and everything in the animation. The player does bob and can move around dynamically now. However, there's still a bit more conflicts with the physics system. We have to look into that and work with it, get it fixing, but it should be functional soon. We mentioned that we were going to optimize a bunch of levels because they contained high poly models and the art style was a bit too saturated and it didn't really work well with our game at the moment. So we decided to redesign environments that include high poly assets and just change it to be more simplified and more lower res. As for the stages, we noticed that they contained flat colors, and we just wanted to implement some more patterns, some way to kind of make it more cleaner, pretty much. Now, most of the levels also, since it's super saturated, it's hard to tell what to kind of take note of or kind of draw the eye to. So, and we're redesigning the levels to have that idea in mind, pretty much dulling down some textures, making sure that those that is pretty much needs to be of point of interest is actually bright and colorful to be seen clearly. We also, for the patterns, we made a tool to help us with this decorating the stages, implementing patterns. So some surfaces doesn't just have flat colors; they actually have proper textures. We developed a new tool to allow us to change different patterns from stripes to checkerboards to polka dots, but we also added in a section where we can add custom patterns if we wish to.
UI. We also made some additions to the UI and navigations of the menu. You can properly now use the controller to cleanly navigate through the menu and the pause screen without having to use your mouse at all. We plan to make all UI in the game completely controller friendly by the release of the game. This still requires a little bit more work to get it entirely functional, but it's a good start. We also plan to change some of the layout of the UI in the menu as well. Guns, weapons. We also fixed a bunch of the issues with aiming and accuracy issues, so weapons are working exactly how you want them, and it's also enjoyable and responsive to shoot these guns. On top of that, there have been a bunch of gun balancing fixes to make weapons more balanced. We've done changes to how the grenade launcher functions, the accuracy of weapons, damage values, and more. Weapons also have see-through outlines around them to spot them more easily and are no longer able to be seen through the player's body.